What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be doing a review on this guy right here, the iPhone 6 Plus. A lot of people have been doing reviews. A lot of people have been doing unboxings of them. And what I want to do is more of a, how would I say it? More of a real world review on how it's used every day and what features I actually use. So to get into it, the first thing that I want to talk about is the design. They went ahead and redesigned the device from the square shape that it had with the 5 and 5S over to a round shape. Now, when we're talking about grabbing the device and holding it, the device being round does help out. It does go ahead and it makes it comfortable in the hand, but yet it makes it a little slippery. I'm afraid I'm going to drop this thing all the time. It was fixed with putting on a case, and then as soon as you put on the case, it doesn't feel the same way anymore in your hand. So that's a little bit of a compromise. If we look at the device, the first thing we see is a huge 5.5-inch screen, 1080 screen. It's 1920 by 1080. And if we look towards the bottom, we have a bigger speaker. The holes for the speaker are definitely a lot bigger. The sound is a lot louder. We have the lightning connector. We have the mic and the 3.5 jack. If we look at the left side of the device, the volume rockers have actually gotten longer. They made them longer. Actually, for me, it's easier to touch and feel which one I'm touching. And then you have your toggle for the ring silent. If we look at the top, the wake button, the sleep and wake button is completely gone. They moved it over to the right side, right next to the SIM tray. That's where it lives now, and it's actually easier to put the device to sleep and wake up, putting it on the side for a size this big. Looking at the back of the device, the biggest thing that I really do not like are the antenna bands. You can see them. Apple could have done a better job at hiding these things. They were known for their design, and this is something that really sticks out. On the space gray model, not so much. On mine, it does. The other thing that I like and don't like is the camera. The reason I don't like it is because it sticks out just like the iPod Touch does, like the iPod Touch 5th Gen. But the reason I like it is because it now has optical image stabilization. And for me, I take a lot of pictures and videos, and it does help me when I'm taking videos. My hands are a little shaky. So it definitely helps me out with that. Talking about the software, when we go into it, now the device, only on the 6 Plus, if you rotate it to landscape, all the icons will rotate along with it. I know that used to be a jailbreak tweak back in iOS 7 and before, where you would do that with all the devices, but now it does it natively. And when you go into the device itself, into a lot of the native applications like messages, mail, notes, they'll go ahead and they'll rotate over to that same landscape, and you'll get more of the view just like the iPad, where you have multi-sections within the app. We have reachability, and that's where it drags down with two presses of the home button, touches, I'm sorry, you don't have to press it. It'll actually bring the icons down to where you can actually use the device with one hand. I personally don't use it. I've used it a couple times, and even then it hasn't worked well for me. I guess they gotta work on it a little bit. The one thing that I do find myself impressed with all the time is the battery life on this thing. Of course, they had to put a bigger battery because it's a bigger device, but battery life is great as opposed to my other iPhones. I had to have a Mophie case on them, and I was still charging them. This one, take off the charger at around 6:30. Have 5 email addresses running, have everything running on my phone, and I make it till about 10 p.m., 10:30, until when I actually have to put this thing on the charger, it's 20%. So it takes me throughout a full day, a complete day of battery life, which is great. On a day-to-day basis, I definitely find myself using this more than I would with my other iPhones before. So that's it. That's a real quick look at the iPhone 6 Plus. Should you get it? I did, coming from the 5S. The only reason why is because of the screen size and the battery. Those are the two things that really pushed me to get this phone. If you don't care much about screen size, or you're okay with the battery life on the 5 or the 5S, then just wait, or wait out until the new generation comes out. Definitely will happen. Other than that, I mean, if you really do like bigger phones, uh, I would suggest it. Let me know what you think about it, if you have one yourself, and let's check it out and see what happens. Catch you later.